as the game progresses.
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, I think I apologize. Wojtek's computer is on fire, so we will have to. You can hopefully get that taken care of, and not too long of time. But it seems like things are getting back to a little bit of normal. But honestly, in the overall scope of things, right, I don't think it's going to have that much impact, right? If there's professional, you might see a little bit more of an impact there. But just based on it being a TCL. Just based on knowing maybe some of the skills of the players, maybe people not super actively playing the game, right? It's probably just going to give the side of the burnt circuit cleanup just a little bit more of an edge. But I mean, the game can totally change in one entire play, right? Someone is that position and runs it down, or someone does this or that. So like, game can change.
And with that, it looks like we are back onto the Rift. I'm not sure if our viewers can see that quite yet, but once they are, just as a quick update, the burnt circuit cleanup is up 500 gold. They are having a bit of a tussle. We're watching a bit of a tussle in the top lane between Autopsy and Bromanzilla. As of right now, there's a 500 gold lead for burnt circuit cleanup. So that looks like it's 100% coming from the first blood that Toasty picked up. As of right now, we do not see any of the creep scores, but it looks like they should be fairly even. Swordmaster appears to be setting up around mid lane to cover Sandy Snake. Nothing much else really at play. Oh, and here comes Swordmaster in. He got onto A-Barn. A-Barn has dropped his flash. The Amumu gets the second. Oh no, A-Barn wiggles out at 1 HP.
Yeah, very, very well played there by A-Barn. Did get caught, but burned the flash, and I believe because Sandy did not have these soldiers out there, did not have the ability to move them, that means A-Barn can just walk away. Sandy could have just walked up. He had flash still, so maybe a little bit of a mistake on his part, but A-Barn will get away to be back to lane, and only 1 kill on the board so far. 400 gold lead there for the burnt circuit cleanup.
Yep. And that will give A-Barn a pretty substantial lead. Oh my gosh, Rook Stout, hiding in the bushes, was able to get the jump on Swordmaster. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, from one lane having a little bit of focus, and you go to the next there. So, bit of an invade there from Swordmaster. Now, Rook Stout is here in the bot lane, flashing forward. Toasty now getting very, very low. Will fall to who is this? Irip now burning down. Will fall to Droid, and that will be a 1-for-1 support for AD carry, though. Definitely favors the side of the Mariachi Mullets. Yes. Funny names
I'll
in this season.
understand the logic behind that name one of these days. All right.
Yeah.
So let's looking through this though, it looks like the kill went over to Who Is This, which will be pretty critical in helping to even things out. He is going to break out now to a 15 CS lead. I don't know what's going on down in the bot lane there. Who Is This? Looks like they're trying to shove the wave under, and it looks like they will be able to prevent a freeze from being built up here. That probably means that it'll be a little bit tricky for... Oh my gosh!
A-Barn is level 6 now, so this is another gank attempt there by Swordmaster, but no flash means that A-Barn has no way to get out. Does probably ultimate, but Sensei can just walk out, no problem. So, nice little re-gank there. A-Barn playing maybe a little bit more aggressive with no vision, so maybe a little bit less...
less safe than he feels.
A little bit undisciplined there from A-Barn, but that's definitely a very, very great re-gank from the side of the burnt circuit cleanup. And we do have another gank action. Swordmaster just goes straight top lane. Bromanzilla does flash away, is able to escape. So another burnt flash from Swordmaster. We'll have to most likely expect him to be coming back based on what he does in the mid lane, but we'll just pick up the Honeyfruit in the river and go back to CSing.
Swordmaster has honestly been a machine this game. He's up 3 CS on Rook Stout, and he's been able to burn, what is that? 2, 3? No, it's just 2 flashes, I guess. But either way, really, really impressive performance. Those ganks in pretty quick succession. What is... Oh, Rook Stout just putting up the pink ward for extra vision.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like
Rook Stout's playing very, very aggressive, which is great. You know, he went for the invade kill onto Swordmaster, puts down vision so he can make sure that he has good tracking onto Swordmaster. I believe he should have spotted him there, knowing that Swordmaster is on the blue. You see the pink come out there, so they're very, very aware of where the jungler is. So just very, very great vision control here from the side of the... oh man, these names are really going to get me the...
the mariachi mullets.
The mariachi mullets here, but yeah.
Oh gosh.
Abron is walking down, so maybe they're trying to set up a 4-man dive. We do have Toasty and Joy playing relatively far back. They do have vision there in the bush, but looks like they're just going to stop the dragon with this priority.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be completely honest. This is a very much an Abarn special, being like these very proactive 4-man collapses, these early dragon attempts. Very good, good play by him. This is kind of interesting though. They're a little caught out, and
yeah,
and the Shen's coming in.
Shen ultimate does not go in because IREP will die in time. Abron takes down Swordmaster, but they're still fighting. Ultimate comes through. Who this does not get Saiyan Snake as he does flash away. Droid now over the pit tries to take down Rookstout, very low HP, but will be taken down there by Rookstout. Toasty and Saiyan Snake are left, only level 5, but cannot finish one. Does in time. Saiyan Snake now will have to be on the run from Abron and Rookstout. Just a back and forth fight. Unfortunately, Shen would have probably way turned this fight here, but actually not even necessary, as I believe that's 2-1, or maybe even 2 for 2 for both sides.
I believe that was 2 for 2. No, it was 3 for 2 in favor of Mariachi Mullets, because Droid, Toasty, and Swordmaster went down in exchange for Who Is This, and I believe IREP on the Mariachi Mullet side. Big thing here, Abarn did get one of those kills, but Sandy picked up 2. So, in terms of who got the gold on the more efficient players, I think I'd have to give that one to the burnt circuit connectors.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately though, at least for the other side for the Mariachi Mullets, you've got that gold bounty there onto Rook Stout. You've got basically only 1 death there on the carries as opposed to 2 deaths there on the Zeri and on the jungler. So gold is just barely in the favor here of the Mariachi Mullets. We do have Swordmaster there taking his red. I think they're just trying to help to get the priority there, but actually will just be taken there by Bromanzilla as Rook Stout might be coming up here to claim the Rift Herald.
Yeah, no, that was a kind of interesting. Bromanzilla was actually taking the herald or the crab in the river there. We got a bit of a fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, we do have the hook come through, so that's very, very good. Ultimate there comes out from Zeri. Toasty doing so much damage here, but also comes through. Oh, Flash is not far enough. Who this will pick up the last kill there into Toasty as IREP with the corner of the trees. Big setup, but topside actually. Autopsy will fall to the 2v1 there. Rookstout comes to the gank. Swordmaster will at very least be able to pick up the CS, but I mean that's just a solid play there from both sides of the map.
Yeah, no, that's basically the last thing you want to see happen, where two halves of the map are losing at the same time for your team. Generally speaking, what you see happen is the jungler will put pressure on one side of the map, and so the other side then will be the weak side and more susceptible. What we saw in this scenario, though, was a 2 for 2 going hard in favor of TCC. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we do have a flash there coming out from Abarn again. We'll be able to walk it out. Saiyan Snake almost got the kill there. We'll be scared away, I believe, from the Victor ultimate. So very, very just active game here from both sides. Really just trying to maybe flex their leads, push up for the advantages. As fortunately for the Mariachi Mullets, they are slowly getting that gold lead in their favor. Almost about 3K here, heading into the 11th minute of the game.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because we were talking about how in the very early game it was Swordmaster who was sort of setting the tempo. He was the one who was being a lot quicker on the moves, setting up a lot of activity for his team. The past couple of minutes, it's absolutely been Rook Stout who's been doing that. Oh, and then we have another fight.
And funnily enough, speaking of Rook Stout, is here now, but cannot do too much as that's a great play there from Droid. But Ultimate comes through again from the Shen, just a little bit too late. Who this will be taking Droid down beforehand. Trying to get some damage there on the Swordmaster. Actually, very, very big. Ultimate there comes out from Toasty. Both very, very low HP, but will be able to get away under tower there. So, one traded back and forth again here for both sides. Gold lead still staying in favor of the Mariachi Mullets. And
it's actually expanding quite a bit.
Yeah, very odd focus though, and unfortunately, the burnt circuit cleanup are getting the short end of the stick every time.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. The Misfortune is now up to 3-kill lead on the Toasty, and almost over a 30 CS lead. They got the first turret now. Well, plates were still up. Yeah, this lead is starting to get pretty scary.
Yeah, she should be able to back and probably get a big on completion there as well. Already finished for a mythic item, as we will have the second dragon spawning, I believe, relatively shortly. Both teams trying to play for priority here. IREP actually going over the wall as we're getting a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, I can't quite tell what's going on here. He looks like he's caught out a little ahead of his over his skis, but
yeah, okay. We have actually double kill coming through right away there from Who Is This. They will be able to actually steal the blue as well. Probably just transition right to the dragon, so I guess must have jumped over, maybe popped the ultimate there as it is on cooldown. Was able to pick up Droid, and then Swordmaster was the next to follow. So, we'll actually get a little bit of
a little rough to see. Like, yeah, let's take a look at what happened there. Oh no, Swordmaster missed. Oh no, I was wondering how the hell did IREP get out of that, but that'll do it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think they just dove a little bit too deep. CC then comes through from the side of the Mariachi Mullets. And then with the teammates a little bit too far away, Zera was not able to get anywhere near doing any damage. So that is a very, very good fight there for the Mariachi Marauder. Mariachi Mullets puts them almost at a 5k gold lead here. Actually,
we'll get it, people. We'll get it.
Yeah, but they're on a 5k gold lead right now. Not even after 15 minutes. So this is a super strong start here for the Mariachi Mullets.
Yeah, and we can also see that despite the early lead that they've picked up, the gold lead that Sandy was enjoying in the mid lane has also disappeared. He is now down almost 20 CS to A-Barn. The gold lead, or the CS lead in the top lane, has also thinned out. You're basically seeing all of the small advantages that Burnt Circuit Connector had been picking up start to diminish a little bit. I have to say that a lot of this needs to be credited to very skillful play from the bot lane, IREP and Who Is This. Both of them have been performing very well and sort of thwarting Droid and Toasty at every turn. And it's been from Rook Stout really using his aggressive ganks to punish and make it difficult for the Burn Circuit Connectors to just quietly scale up. He's keeping the tempo of this game very, very quick.
Yeah, absolutely, and the rich just get richer, right? So every single fight, the Mariachi Mullets always just get on top, or maybe only trade one, if anything. And they're at that 5k gold lead, looking to push down this top turret now. We do have potentially 3 members here, but the Thresh is now finally coming up. But IREP placing down the saplings will be able to get more than enough vision. Toasty trying to push up Bromanzilla, but 2 levels down, struggling a little bit based off of the 2v2. So not even cleared on me yet. So definitely a game from behind here for the Burnt Sword Cleanup, and they're gonna have to definitely just need a little bit of pressure, try to scale up as you do have the hook come through there onto Rook Stout, but
yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, definitely not in the position to take that fight. Setting Snake not really in a position to support there, but
they need to back out here.
Yeah,
because from that angle, IREP can launch his ult in, and with Who Is This, as fed as he is, that ultimate will just cut them to pieces.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have at the other side though the Mariachi Mullets dive too far. They would be diving under tower. Setting Snake thought about roaming up, but we'll just walk back mid. As now Bromanzilla is here, potentially could look for something with A-Barn, but Setting Snake just gonna play it safe. Just gonna sit back here as now Droid joins him. We'll gift over the cannon there very nicely with a relic stack. As actually here comes the ultimate there. Droid might be the recipient as he is under tower, but a little bit too far for any kind of follow-up, so a little bit late for that coordination. As actually we do have people there top jungle. Rook Stout and IREP are kind of just like waiting, trying to get this pressure down. There's now Bromanzilla on the side. They're really trying to set this little bit of a pinch there on the mid tower, but just trying to get some damage down as won't be able to get the proc there as wave is cleared. Tower is very, very low, but no lives given over.
So one of the things that you're starting to see in this game, though, is both of these team comps drafted really only two damage. In theory, only two damage sources: the Misfortune and the mid laner. The problem here is that that's in theory, not in practice. In reality, IREP is building AP. He does a healthy chunk of damage.
Yeah, and chunk of damage coming through here now as the dive comes out. Rookstout takes down one, but will be traded back. Aberon does clean up Swordmaster as they're definitely, trying to push this lead super far. Do pick up 3 just for Rookstout's life, so a little bit of a gold bounty given over, but definitely, Mariachi Mults will be happy with that. Gold lead now at, I believe, 7 or 8k. Bromanzilla pushing the side lane as well, not even needed in this fight, so basically just trying to push the tempo of the game as far as possible.
Yeah, no, and where I was going with that, though, is that in this situation, Toasty is very far behind. You saw it when he was trying to poke at the Ornn. He's not doing any damage to them. He's not really able to match the damage of Misfortune. The problem is that without him there, the Amumu's not dealing damage. The Shen is not dealing damage. The Thresh certainly isn't dealing damage. That's a lot riding on Sandy Snake's shoulders. And for what it's worth, he is pretty farmed. He hasn't died. He's doing everything he needs to do for his team. It's just not clear if that's enough at this point. The fact Toasty being this far behind is really, really hurting them.
Yeah, and I mean, Toasty's just not going to be able to do really that much damage. Zeri, as much as she does have all that movement speed, doesn't really follow up with damage without items. So really only going to be on the back of Sandy Snake here, but does have the tanks on his
for
side.
Quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the tanks there with the Amumu and the Shen, but they will just have to seed the 3rd dragon to put the Mariachi Mullets on Soul Point here. Unfortunately, Dragon Soul for Mountain will only help make this team tankier there with 3 basically tanks. So many items on the side of the Mariachi Mullets. It's going to be very, very hard just based off a very, very rough early game, really, from almost everyone on the Burnt Circuit cleanup, as they are at least trying to get something back here. Take that gold objective bounty there on the Rift Herald. IREP is
they got it, but it's at what cost?
Yeah, what cost might be Swordmaster's life here as he does go in. Pop the ultimate, though, to his death. Actually flashes away. Rookstout might be able to take him down, but Toasty trying to get some damage back. Actually just falls there to IREP as now one trades. I believe they do trade one back, yeah. We do have Bromanzilla falling to Sandy Snake, so he is doing what he can.
It ends up being a
team.
2-for-1 in favor of TCC.
2 for 1, but they are still going. Rookstout is pinching around the back. Autopsy very, very low. Joy does land the hook, but we do have the ultimate there coming through. Sandy Snake ultimate comes out. They actually are able to get away. Ultimate there now from A-Barn. Burning down on top with the Misfortune ultimate. Sandy Snake can do nothing but walk away and watch his team fall before him.
Oh my gosh, poor Sandy. He's doing what he in theory needs to do. It's just there's not much else to say. He's just being out. The rest of his team is largely collapsing at this point. Rook is just absolute. Actually, I can't even just say Rook. Everybody on the Mariachi Mullets are just applying pressure everywhere. They're not giving Burnt Circuit Connectors a second to even farm waves, pick up small objective bounties. The noose is tightening pretty quickly.
Yeah, they are suffocating their opponents, and that's exactly what you want to see when you're far ahead, right? Steal all the camps, get all the CS, get all the objectives, don't allow your opponents to get any kind of advantage. And, from what we are seeing, right, this is a whole encompassing strong teamwork from the Mariachi Mullets. All of them are working perfectly. You can see the steps, you can see the dives, you can see the coordination there, and that's exactly what you want with this composition, right? On the other hand, it's really just, almost like a bunch of individuals trying to make it work, right? Sandy Snake basically just has to 1v9 at this point. But, the coordination there and the execution is just on fire, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
No, it would take a very, very hard overcommit at this point. And honestly, taking a step back, we like to talk in situations like this. What do BCC have to do to get back into this? The reality, as far as I could tell, is they need TCC to get, TMM to get impatient. They need them to take an ill-advised fight and try to just get some of these shutdowns back. Shutdown off of Misfortune would obviously be ideal, but honestly, that's all they have to work with here.
Yeah, and honestly, very little to work with at this point as they're getting forced out of their own jungle. trying to take the red there, but will just be taken away there by Rook Stout as the sapling's helping out there. But I mean, honestly, if on the side of the burn circuit cleanup, you're just praying for a mistake. You're praying for, you know, maybe a Baron 50-50 or something that, you know, the game just gets burger flipped. But, you know, it's 8k gold lead, only going to get more if the Baron does go over. So with the positioning of these teams, with, you know, the burnt circuit cleanup so far away, this Baron is
There's
just
nothing
free.
to be done.
Swordmaster is mid lane, can't do anything about this. I mean, they're too far behind, so really.
Oh no, Swordmaster's out. Is
yeah.
he out like solo pushing? I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, don't know about that. As Abram will take him down. Maybe pop the Rift Herald there, as now Joy will be the next to follow. Nice thing, does a lot of damage. You know, Rookstout did take a lot there.
In theory, he's a tank, but he looks like paper there. Holy moly.
Yeah, and cutting through Zeri there like paper was Who Is This, and now they're pushing down the mid lane. 5-man, all Baroned up, only 3 to defend. As, you know, Toasty's very, very low, so we'll have to be very, very careful, but doesn't seem like the side of the burnt sword cleaner can really do anything but just watch their towers fall, because no engage without Swordmaster or Droid. Only can having Sandy Snake just, you know, getting the long range autos, pushing in, tower falling. Inhibitor is next. You know, at the very least, that will be more gold as now the engage comes through. Autopsy going in. Hope does not land there from Droid. Abarn takes him down. Toasty all the way in the back, not doing enough damage. Great 3-man ultimate there. As Rookstout now jumps in. Damage coming through. Toasty gets it. Sandy Snake now, and Toasty trying to do the 1v5. Sandy Snake very, very low, but they do take him down. Ultimate does not land there. We do have IREP now on the run. Sandy Snake is very, very low. We'll have to be careful of the sapling. Might just die. Flashes away. Does stay alive, actually, but that is a 2v8. Toasty and Sandy Snake somehow win that fight. That is a 5-0-5 Azir. Toasty is back in the game now, picks up all the items, so this could turn around, but, you know, all the objectives are down.
That. They certainly
they needed something, and that was something. So Dragon Soul is on the board. The side of the burnt, whatever the team name is, they need to go
BCC.
Yeah, they need to go stop the soul stacking. They need to go get this. Unfortunately, IREP and
IREP
are here.
IREP didn't reset. Oh dear me.
Might be able to take down Sandy Snake as he is getting shed and ulted. Unfortunately, that is for the side of the Marauders, as now Toasty does take down Abarn. Bromanzilla is going to be next to fall, has to flash away. Looks out though, is here with Who That. Sandy Snake just gets taken down, carried down, as now Autopsy might be the next to follow. Toasty trying to do the damage that he can, flashes away, just gets taken down, double kill now, flash over the wall to his death, triple kill for that, as now he don't get a quadra kill.
Pentakill! Holy moly! Who is this? He's the pentakill!
The burnt circuit cleanup thought they had it, thought they had the comeback. You know, IREP was out of position with Bromanzilla. Flashes come away, but too over aggressive, and 12k gold lead goes to the Mariachi Mullets, pushing down the mid lane. All of the, you know, death timers are there. This should be, I believe, the ending push. Should be able to take down the, at least, you know, the Nexus turrets, and then potentially the Nexus, but might just back off and take the second inhibitor here.
I'll be completely honest, when I saw that IREP didn't have any mana, I assumed that they would be able to basically, like, get a pick on him, collapse accordingly. He somehow survived that fight, though. I'm not entirely sure how it happened, and I definitely am going to want to rewatch the replay tomorrow to get a better sense of it. But my goodness, IREP for the build he goes with, and you can see on your screen here, it's not a particularly tanky build. He likes to go that sort of pokey, AP focused build that really leverages the saplings for damage. Imperial Mandate, the like. He's very slippery, and I don't think that. Obviously, Who Is This has been just an absolute highlight reel this game. Nobody's going to be asking Who Is This going forward, but yeah, no, I think IREP is making already a strong contender for quiet unsung hero here. I don't think that a lot of people appreciate it unless they played against it, but those saplings make your job as support and like trying to establish vision so ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier here for the Burn Circuit cleanup, as we do have Swordmaster falling again, 1 and 9 in this game, as I believe Rookstout did take him down, pushing through the top lane. We do have some semblance of a defend, we do have damage coming in through Droid. Rookstout has not dove yet, but ultimate comes out from Bro Manzel. Flash away there from Droid as the ultimate there, Ornhorn will miss. Rookstout, though, is walking straight up, will be able to just get the EQ. Ultimate there not coming through as the Shen just ease forward to his death. Droid now taking a lot of damage. We'll have to go back into the fountain with the rest of his teammates. Inhibitor falls, only one remaining. Going around the bases here could be the Mariachi Mullets, as they will just be looking for the end here. 4v5. Toasty and Sunny Snake are very, very, strong at this point with the items. Getting a little bit scared here as we do have the engagement coming through. Sunny Snake actually pushes him. Ultimate coming through over the top. So much damage there coming out. They can't really do anything but just try to get them off. Half HP there on the Nexus. They have to all just sit back in fountain and heal. Shutdown comes through, but not enough, as that will be game number 1, going over to the Mariachi Mullets.
Congratulations to the Mariachi Mullets. As I promised, I would be eating my words. But I'll be honest, I thought it might come from a super carry performance by A-Barn. No, who is this? Absolutely dominating. I haven't gone back and checked my stats yet, folks, but if my recollection serves, who is this now has taken the lead in terms of the most kills in a single match? It was previously really,
and not only that, pentakill, first pentakill of the season. So is a statement game right there. And I mean, that was just solid all the way around. The side of the Burnt Sword cleanup, tried their best. They got the one fight. They tried to stop the soul, but got a little bit over aggressive there. Once the respawns came through, I mean, that was just game over, right? I mean, that was just all around. And honestly, I think the true unsung hero of that game was Rookstout. He was, everywhere he needed to be. He was getting all of his lanes ahead, right? Even though Sword was trying his best, was, blowing flashes, got the kill there on A-Barn in the mid lane. Rookstout was what was the reason why the bot lane got so far ahead, always shadowing them, always making sure that the Zero was never able to get back into the game. Tried to get down there on the Standing Snake, but Standing Snake, played very, very well. But, that was just unfortunately, it was a really topside difference, right? The Shen only, I think, got one ultimate through, and that was on the final dragon. We had the jungler go 1 and I think it might have been 10 at the very last death. So that was just a very, very rough game topside.
You say topside, but then bot side they were winning the 2v2s. It's you gotta have a little bit more. So in solo queue, I like to say you need to sometimes learn to lose gracefully, and we didn't see that this time. And frankly, and that was in large part because the Mariachi Mullet really didn't give them the opportunity. With that, though, I think we should probably go to a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for game 2 and see if BCC can turn it around.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Tilt Champions League. It is day 3, and what a day it has been. Game number 1 was pretty single-handedly in the favor of the Mariachi Mullets for basically the entirety of the game. Got a little bit of the slight advantage there in the beginning. You know, every single fight got better and better, and then really afterwards it was just a slacking there as only the mid laner was able to get anything done there for the burn circuit cleanup. So very solid game number 1, rough game number 1 for sure from the burst and cleanup. You know, a bit of a struggle there in the top lane in the jungle, but you know, another game to give it another shot, and we'll have to see how they really do adapt as we will be heading into draft relatively shortly here for game number 2.
Yeah, and Sir Aaron, do you have any thoughts on? I have some opinions, but I'll let you go first. Do you have any thoughts on how you would like to see burnt circuit cleanup? I think I got it right this time. Maybe change up their pick ban, change up their style going into game 2.
Yeah, so I really do think the biggest thing was not maybe wholly what they're picking. I don't know if I fully agree with the Zeri threat. Just seems a little bit weird for kind of like your 2v2, but I think in general it was just kind of bad coordination. It didn't really feel like they were playing together. It didn't really feel like they were communicating in a way that was, you know, as solid as the other team was. You know, with the way that it looked like, you know, there was constant dive setups, constant flanks, you know, from Rooks down, from the mid laner, from A-Barn. You know, the Shen, you know, is a good pick in the meta. I think I only saw one ultimate work out. Outside of that, you know, the jungler, you know, outside of Sunny Snake getting the good pick there onto A-Barn, nothing else really happened. You know, I didn't feel like they were really at the team fights coordinated together. Didn't feel like they were really, you know, setting any objectives up. Didn't really feel like they were trying to look for anything. It just seems like, you know, they were trying to, you know, play as 5 individuals, and then, you know, the team strength and coordination of the Mariachi Mullets came out strong. So for me, I think, you know, they could run back that same comp and win if they just played a little bit more together. So that's what I'm really looking for. I'm really hoping for here in game 2.
Okay, I could see that. I think that if I were to make recommended changes, and let me know what your thoughts are on this, I would want them to spend a ban on that Maokai, because I think that it just applies so much vision pressure and control during team fights. It provides easy lockdown, it provides vision, it provides lots of damage, lots more damage than anything Droid can put out. And I think that getting that off the field is key. Second off, I think Sandy should be picking early. It's clear that he's the carry of the team. Waiting until the last minute and losing his favorite champs is not the recipe for success, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think that they could maybe switch up the order like that. You know, trying to take away maybe some of the strong picks like that could be a solid option. We'll have to see what happens though, as we will be getting into draft. We do have the first bans coming through, and it is very similar for game number 1. We do have the Hecarim and the Nocturne there banned away.
Yep. So it looks like they're trying to take Swordmaster off any champions that could potentially be used to give the team extra damage. They're taking him off the Fiddlesticks. They're taking him off the Nocturne. They want him on an engaged tank. It's very clear. And from last game, it definitely looks like it. I understand why. In their other setup, Toasty and Sandy are not the highest damage options, or Sandy and Toasty are the only damage options on that team. So the more you prevent Swordmaster from adding additional damage to the comp, the better. I still think this last ban should be Maokai. I don't think that they have a good answer to it at present, and I think that it just gives A-Barn's team way too much control. But it is not to be. Jarvan, I can kind of see it. Like Rookstout looked very good on that. Oh, who is I? And just like clockwork, they grabbed these Ziggs for the Mariachi Mullets.
Yeah, and actually, if it were me, I would prefer this. I think definitely, you know, you saw how good Rookstout looked on the Jarvan. Very, very easy setup, just a strong jungler in general. You know, giving someone like, you know, giving the Ziggs over is a champion that can be very easily abused if you have the dive there. With
Another
all the
early pick
jungler
for
bans, though, I think you definitely were right where Swordmaster has to pick early. I think he has to pick a jungler in round 1, or else then you can just ban out the rest of the junglers, and then Swordmaster's on just like a okay jungler. The Gen is taking a response, so I think Toasty on W1D3 is probably the right decision. I don't think this area really worked. We actually will have the Seraphine locked in, which actually I think is one of Droid's common picks we have seen, so that most likely will be going into his hands.
All right, so they're picking for their bot lane again. I really, really am hoping that they see. I actually somewhat disagree there. I think that Swordmaster has a handful of junglers he can still grab. He's got his Amumu, he's got his Zac, he's got Nunu, etc. I would very much like to see. Interesting. I'm fairly certain that's an Abar and Tristana that's being grabbed there. The Ziggs, I think, is probably a Who Is This special. I think that the Tristana will be an Abarn pick. He's played that in the past. He's comfortable on it. He's both a mid laner and an AD carry. Lots of cheesy early damage there. Um, I'm not entirely sure though. I think that Sandy honestly should be the one picking here because otherwise they're just going to ban out his Corki, his Victor, and or his Malzahar again. I'm not sure exactly what I'd like to see here, but I think it should be a Sandy pick.
And it could be, there could be some flexing with Seraphine can go mid. Could have a Veigar support. And very interesting pick. We'll have to see maybe how Abraham decides to respond to that. But I think it is also very, very interesting to note that with the loss, the Burnt Circuit cleanup did not elect to go to the blue side. They wanted to stay red. We do have the Ornn locked in again, which I think is definitely a staple of Abarn's teams where you have, the top laner playing a tank and just playing frontline for the AD carry or for the mid laner, which Abarn is in this case. But we actually finally do have the Maokai taken away, so we will not see that back in hands. And we'll have to see if they'll decide to ban out the jungler again as the Mariachi Mullets did previously.
Yeah, like I said, I very much like the Maokai ban there. They're going to go after. I'm seeing that they're taking out Zac now for the jungler side. Not unexpected. Might be a Mumu ban coming up. The thing is, Swordmaster has other junglers he can shift onto. The big thing that I'm already not super fond of, though, about this Burnt Circuit cleanup team is that, again, it feels like a very heavily scaling. Oh, that's interesting. Burnt Circuit cleanup are the ones banning the Shen this time. I don't know why.
I don't hate that because I wouldn't be surprised if IREP would pick the Shen support. Because Shen support actually is something that's decent, and having that global on the map, maybe they don't want to do that depending on what they want to pick here. And that's not going to, come through as we already have the Jhin locked in. Just, I guess, a favorite hover of Toasties, but I guess still is an interesting ban. I think you probably should have banned something away from maybe Abarn, because he still has the Rise and the...
No, I think that they're quite confident that it's the Tristana for Abarn. Tristana or Ziggs, but a Urgot for Autopsy. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a little bit of a different look. Urgot definitely is a strong champion into Ornn. As long as he lands his E, he will be able to take down and slowly to break down the armor there. We do have the jungler locked in now, Sejuani, locked in there for Rookstout, just another strong engage champion. And we'll have to see what the finalization of this comp is to know who is going where.
I love this. 7 junglers are banned, and Rook just casually swaps on to another one that he has tremendous success on. It's Rook. I don't think Rook gets enough credit for just how many junglers you can put him on and have him be very successful. We didn't even tap the Ivern yet. Oh, we got a set. I'm fairly certain that this is going to be an IREP set.
Yeah, most likely based on just the teams and the players. That's going to be bot lane. I would be probably expecting Tristana to be with there. I think we're going to have to see a Ziggs mid. Potentially, I don't think Ziggs sets really the best combo, but finally locking in the Kayn, Swordmaster will be piloting that. So definitely a much different look for these compositions, as actually it will be Ziggs bot. So not my favorite. I think definitely into that kind of team. If you get any lock up there onto the Ziggs, it's going to be very, very rough. And I think you were right with Tristana going on Abarn. I think that definitely is good into Veigar, but I feel like the synergy is partly there, for the Mariachi Mullets. But the bot lane's the rough one. As last game you had the Zeri and the Thresh, which wasn't really the best duo, I think you've got the Ziggs and the Set, which is not the best this time, as Jin and Seraphine can definitely, slowly poke you out and slowly get you down. So we'll have to see how that turns out, but I'm definitely liking the composition of the burnt circuit cleanup a lot more this game.
I'll be completely honest. I fully expect that that IREP Set is going to roam a lot. Ziggs is I'll be honest, when I play Bard, Ziggs is one of my favorite bot lanes to be paired with, specifically because you can more or less just leave him to his own devices and just run off whenever you feel like. Until 6, there's not a whole lot that Seraphine and Jin can do to really punish that. So I definitely could see IREP just deciding to nope right off and go wreak havoc elsewhere on the map. The bigger thing I wanted to call out here, though, is Burnt Circuit Cleanup have a lot of solid champions, but a lot of them rely on scaling. The Seraphine is solid, but more so the further into the game you get. The Kayn obviously is basically just a glorified minion until it gets its upgrade, which generally is until like 15 or so minutes. The Viger is the perennial scaling mid laner, but again, it's not really. You're not going to have priority. You're not going to be have a lot of carry potential until you get a lot of farm and a lot of stacks under your belt. On the other hand, on the other side, you have Tristana, who's a monster early game. You have this Set that does an absolute ton of early game damage, a lot of early game durability, can run around the map and cause havoc. You still have Rook Stout on that quality ganking champion like Sejuani. BCC's got a solid comp, but they need the game to last a while, and I'm not sure they can't. What happened last game cannot happen this game. Otherwise, their comp will just collapse like a house of cards.
Yeah, I mean, if Veigar gets behind, bot lane gets behind, these champions are never going to get back into the game. The same as the Kayn and the Urgot, right? As much as I do love the composition there from the Burn Circuit Cleanup, I'm not confident in the team play, and I think that's really what's going to carry through, especially in the TCL. So honestly, if my prediction is the Mariachi Mullets are just going to clean sweep again. I think it's just a pretty simplistic kind of game for them. You've got the engage there from the Sejuani. Ultimate coming through, layer the Ornn ultimate. You can throw the Ziggs are on top. Second ult Urgot into the backline can probably, take down the Veigar or the Seraphine. If they're not paying attention, then Abron can just, free fire in the back and hopefully jump in when he needs to. But it seems like as much as the comp is there, makes sense what they want to do. I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to come to fruition. But I could be wrong. You never know. Definitely did not expect the kind of game moment we had. So we'll definitely have to see, how this second game does end up going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I'm also very excited and intrigued at the prospect of who is this. I gotta come up with a better name because now that whole name just sounds fake when he's not who is this. He's the Mr. Pentakill now. But Mr. Pentakill is now on Ziggs, and that was a really early ban they whipped out for him in game 1. I'm curious. I don't know if he's a one trick. I don't know if this is just something that they've seen in scrims, but he clearly inspires a certain degree of respect with it. So I would personally like to see what that ends up translating out to in terms of gameplay. But we are about to get out onto the Rift. BCC versus TMM. Let's see if they can tie it up. I also Speedy also reached out to me to remind me that every team that so far that has won game 1 has gotten reverse swept. So let's see if the Mariachi Mullets can reverse that trend. A little dance off in the middle.
They definitely could. I don't know if I'm the confident one in there. I do think interestingly, we do have to note, Veigar did like to go heal. Does not decide to go TP or even barrier. Does just like to go with the heal, maybe wanting a little bit of the movement speed there. But just gonna have actually, just a standard 5-point start. Jin will place a ward over the wall in the Dragon Pit to get vision, just to see maybe where the jungle pathing will be. But otherwise, we do actually have Ziggs taking TP, so might be able to, go all over the map. So expecting a little bit of a slower game this game, but we'll have to see, if the players decide to, get funky with it.
Yeah, and taking a look at this, IREP has gone the phase rush on set. My guess, once again, is that this is going to be that set that tries to take advantage of Hex Flash. Just you run around like a maniac, jumping over walls that nobody's expecting, moving at Mach 10, and setting up ganks and surprise plays, and just sort of taking advantage of the Zig's self-sufficiency.
Yeah, and Ziggs definitely is the that sufficient champ if he just makes sure he doesn't get low on mana, so he can't get the rocket charge away. We do have Toasty and Short looking a little bit more comfortable here, getting a little bit more of a good start. Abarn with level 2 Prio will be able to land the E. Can't fully stack it, but good damage there. Sandy Snake down to half HP. Finally gets level 2, so we'll be able to maybe go the Baby Cage or the W.
Dark Matter.
Yeah, Dark Matter as top lane though. Autopsy off to a good start. Doesn't actually decide to go E as he actually does now. Bro Manziel might have to be careful. Autopsy needs 2 more autos.
Oh boy!
Can't get them at
not
this
what you
point.
want.
Yeah, only.
Wait.
Actually, he's being very aggressive. So playing it properly, you know, making sure that Bro Manziel cannot get level 2, but finally does. So we'll be able to get just a little bit more safety here.
Interesting. I don't know as much about early Urgot trading patterns. I'm used to him just firing off his machine gun and kind of going wild. If you start your Q level 1 and then you do the apprehend or the charge, do you not have the ability to really pressure a kill at level 2, or what happened there?
You do, depends on the HP. The W is really where the consistent damage comes through. But if you do get, you know, the procs there on your feet, kind of your passive, then that's the damage comes through. But because he does go Q, doesn't actually get the consistent damage there with his W, which is somewhat of the new Urgot start based on the item changes. But otherwise, it's just a very, very solid start there for Autopsy. You know, gets a little bit of priority. Unfortunately, doesn't really amount to much, as Swordmaster is waiting here in the wings. You know, I think Droid's getting a little bit of a bait. Doesn't get a great route with the follow-up there, as IREP no W has to flash away. Toasty will be able to get not too much done, as that will be a flash burn for nothing. So, good start. We'll have to see if there is going to be a re-gank coming through there from Swordmaster, as he will just be walking back topside. Maybe they're trying to look for a cheeky invade, as now Rookstout is invading the enemy Raptors.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm surprised that Swordmaster didn't try to make like a beeline for Ziggs just to provide a little bit of support. Oh, interesting. Spurg is pointing out in the chat that IREP did not go the Hex Flash. I guess anti-flash is kind of his thing, but quite fascinating. Quite fascinating. I don't really get what the point of that. I don't understand what the point of the support is if you're not going to do the flash tricks. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think for set, you know, going the movement speed there in the dynamo camera, or what it's called. That is more of a solo lane. Phase Thrust is more of a solo lane set. We do have Rookstout now going in for the gank. Does get the nice little CC, but Autopsy is able to get away just in time. But Swordmaster is now here, but not really the HP or the mana there on Autopsy to get anything done. But Phase Thrust definitely is not the common thing you'll see in support sets. You'll mostly see the flashing to be able to get more of the surprise and be able to go for flanks, which is definitely what you want to see your support sets do. So I definitely don't love that for Abarn, or sorry for Abarn's team there on IREP. But you know, obviously is very, very used to not having to have hex flashes and flashes in general. So should feel confident nonetheless.
I can see it. I mean, I just feel like he loses a lot of his value if he's not going to be going around and being able to pressure other lanes with hex flashes. We'll see, though. We'll see.
We will see as we are cresting the 6-minute point, and there are no kills on the board, so a much slower game here, but at the very least, there is a 200 gold lead in the favor of the Mariachi Mullets based on the CS advantages, which are really just in the jungle, because top lane, you know, Autopsy is doing pretty well. It's got almost a 15 CS advantage, as IREP is here trying to clear out, actually play some vision down and keep it around. As Swordmaster definitely knows it's there. Rook Stout, though, is here again. Potentially could look for another gank, as Abron also has roamed around. So, great communication. Great teamwork here to move away and try to get some more gold into the pocket of Rook Stout and take some away. And they will be able to do, though, take the Gromp away. I don't believe they were able to take the blue. But, that's just a great takeaway. Great kind of movement with the priority given. So, another great teamwork play from the Mirachi Mullets.
Yeah, and that's these plays where Abarn comes in and he's sort of hiding, but Toasty, you gotta dodge those. Where Abarn's coming in and playing around the pink wards for sort of set up the surprise man advantage. Really, really like to see that. I'm a big sucker for people who properly play around vision. Really neat, good stuff to be seeing. I will say though that if this game stays this low paced, I think it definitely starts to favor against, or it starts to be more in BCC's favor the longer that this goes on.
Yeah, and it definitely will allow them to get that scaling, which I desperately want. As we do see the damage coming through, Toasty, well, it's only level 5, so ultimate comes through, does some damage, but no really items on the pocket of Zig to really do much more. But interestingly, we can talk about how Urgot did go for the different item build. Has been to go for the
Tiamat.
Tiamat, yeah. Tiamat has been nerfed for the start, so Lux maybe just go for the wave clear to try to take some CS away, as he is actually null on the CS differential there, Bromanzilla, so not doing too poorly, as we do have Swordmaster hanging out top lane, no vision there, so could look for a potential gank, if nothing, going for the scuttle here topside.
Yeah, and it looks like Swordmaster he hasn't really been able to affect the match quite as much, or affect the map quite as much as Rook Stout has up to this point. He's a little bit behind in farm. I think that I would like to see him just come to lanes and just try to apply a little bit of pressure to pick up the stacks, if nothing else.
Because does he have the smite?
He is sneaking
not have
in.
the smite, but does steal it away. I think they both have. Actually, no, he does steal it away because they both have red buff, but only one has blue. So nicely done. We should be able to get out here, no problem. Ultimate comes out from the Ornn. Actually, does get canceled. That's actually Bromanzilla might just be killed here very, very shortly. Ultimate there might have been a little bit too early for the Urgot, as the first blood does go over to him, but Abron and Rook Stout are here, but they do not have the level 6 there onto Rook Stout, so this could be an easy turnaround. Swordmaster
Autopsy is 3 levels up
in the background. Abron does get the first. Swordmaster doesn't have an ult yet. Waits till the very last second. Flashes away, goes through the wall. So actually, nice. Oh, actually, good flash W there from Abron. Double kill for him, and that was just, like you said, that was really rough to look at.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea there was. You needed to just pull out. But
Ultimate
we have Sandy coming in.
Yeah, does get the stun there on Ultimate, lands there onto Who Is This. Last shot does not land, that would have been his death, but Ult easily takes down Who Is This. W will miss, will be able to live, but that's definitely a good pickup. Good roam there from Sandy Snake, as Abron was on a reset based off of getting those 2 kills, so getting something back for themselves. Looks like they're going to move down to Dragon here and be able to, get their stacking going, maybe.
Yep, and it looks like they also, the Mariachi Mullets were able to pick up the Rift Herald, meaning that they're going to get a lot of plate damage off. Oh, but Sandy Snake caught out Rook Stout, and they've got him pinned. Ooh.
Ultimate does turn around there, land on the Toasty, but Swordmaster very, very low HP. The Dragon is still alive. Low is now, the trades are coming through in the damage. Red team does somehow get it in the back pocket without Abron or IREP even realizing. Swordmaster does get across from the wall. Toasty lives. Oh, they got that alive.
The great escape. That was very, very well played. Sandy Snake was actually able to even up the kill deficit. They were able to get the dragon. They were able to sneak their way out. However, the Abarn did get a lot of plates.
Yeah,
it looks like they're down to the 1 plate. So I would imagine that Abarn's gold is actually pretty high relative to Sandy's. Good position for him to be in. Yep. Looking at this, he's up about 300 gold on Sandy, basically a full kill.
And
now we're looking.
Unfortunately, though, for Sandy's sake, is only about 300 gold behind. You know, he's got the good roams. He's gotten 2 kills on his back. So, you know, Abraham having the 2 kills isn't too, you know, important because they are relatively even speaking. And this is a much better game, you know, from the bot lane here of the burnt circuit cleanup. Actually, only behind about 800 gold. You know, I think they had about like a 3,000 to 4,000 gold lead or gold deficit at this point. So, much better game for them. You know, they've got a kill up, they've got a dragon. So, this definitely could be a much closer game.
Yep. And Autopsy here is starting to get a little bit of that additional pressure up in the top lane. He's starting to bully Bromanzilla a little bit. He's starting to keep the pressure going. He's starting to build up that CS deficit. He is taking the free tower shot though, which not ideal. I'd like to see Swordmaster come up and apply additional pressure up there. We'll see if that ends up happening. Frankly speaking, I'm assuming he wants Red Kayn this game. And if that's the case, then he really needs to be applying the damage and the gank pressure to Bromanzilla to get there.
Yeah, you know, he had really only the one look there. Hasn't really been doing too much all the way around. So definitely don't want to see him get the 20-minute transform and not pull the old Dardock here from the previous split in LCS. But regardless, you know, he's CSing relatively well. You know, up 10 CS, only 1 death to the same of Joas. But Rook Stout weighing in the wings. Standing Stake might be aware of this. You know, actually, we'll be walking right into him. Should be able to live. Actually,
he's called Seraphine. He's called Seraphine. They knew. The jig is up.
Yeah. Hey, good communication. That's very, very good. You know, Standing Stake had the. I think they might have seen him maybe walk through the pink ward, but we'll be playing safe as the Seraphine will be trying to push him back. But Seraphine, you know, it's kind of weak, so don't want to walk up too far. That's an ultimate into the A-bar jump. But Swordmaster now here to support as well, helps clear the wave or be able to have Veigar feel safe and clearing the wave. Jhin now here on his own some. Might be. Actually, we'll burn the heal. Not sure if he 100% needed to, just based on the positioning. But Woolies gets scared off of the bot lane. Rook Stout now is back in the bot jungle. Swordmaster jumping over the wall, maybe trying to go for the little bit of damage. Toasty does land the W, but the rest of the damage is not land.
Oh no, I was going to say Viger's looping around here. He's got to hustle, but no such luck.
Yeah, damage doesn't really come into the follow-up. Joy does not land the double Q there. Toasty can't really do too much. It's way too far away. Doesn't want to burn the ultimate. Actually, the dive coming through now. Rook Stout just throws out the R and runs away, as now we do have the turn call as the set does get charmed there by Droid. TP coming through now from the Urgot. Unfortunately, the ult does not do much.
Wait.
A little bit more damage.
No!
Does get the R. Cancel. Actually, sorry, does get the R. Execute. Autopsy with a great flash forward. W a little bit too early, but
keep this guy on Urgot. What the hell were they doing last game?
Yeah, I know. Shen is not his champion, but Rook Stout is still around. Autopsy with a great E forward. Also coming through from Irip as now we have A-Barn here. Swordmaster doing some damage. Ultimate Way takes him down. Swordmaster now alone in the back line. A-Barn one shot. Can't fall though. The punches come through for Irip as Rook Stout.
Wait, but Sandy's here to pinch. Sandy's here to pinch.
Here. Should have the ultimate there ready to take down something. W misses barely. Ult so low, but Toasty will be able to shut down Rook Stout. Irip now left under tower. Wave is not pushed enough for them to consider a dive, so A-Barn somehow gets away with his life, but doesn't look like they're going to stay around at all to try to get the kill onto him. So that will be, I believe, a 2-for-1 in the very end.
Yep. Interestingly, this does give Bromanzilla a little bit of extra time on this top lane turret. I believe plates had already gone down though, so he's not really getting as much off of it as he might otherwise have hoped. He might actually be able to sneak first turret though. Though come to think of it, I'm looking at BCC's bot and mid turret. I honestly think Zig could probably just do like a quick little circuit and just collect all of these. Oh yeah, Bromanzilla does get the first turret. Nicely done, my man.
Yep. Perfectly walks away to allow the minions to take it down. Doesn't have to worry about setting it too far. Abram will take down the mid lane turrets. Swordmaster cannot really do too much. As now Abram will roam down to support, but actually does not need to, as the dragon will be going over to the Mariachi Mullets. Who is this? Now takes down the bot lane turret. So that is all tier 1s fallen here at the 50-minute mark. So that's just, you know, even though the game isn't as, you know, 8k gold lead that it was at this point, still a hefty 4k gold lead. You know, all the tier 1 turrets down, only dropped the one dragon there. So as much as, you know, a better game and a little bit better look here from the burn circuit cleanup, still a little bit behind here. Still a little bit struggling to the just I think the better team play and rotation of the Mariachi Mullets.
I somewhat agree there, but they also had a Kane and a Viger. This is not a team that was designed to dominate the early game. What's going to be curious here is they're at like you said, a 3,000 K power trough or a 3K power trough. It's interesting if they're able to hold out through this and give their scaling champions enough time to sort of even out here. Oh, what is that interaction? That was very strange.
That was just
bopping poor Autopsy.
Ian's the ult into the alt. Unfortunately, cannot really do anything when it's a 2v1 there. Ult back into the tower. We got the Ornn ult over the top. That is another kill there onto Autopsy. So, much as he was in a good start, unfortunately, having a little bit of a rough time now focused with maybe not enough vision there, as now Rookstout, with the help of his team, takes down the Rift Herald. Unfortunately, no plates to do too much, and actually no tier 1s even, so we'll have to be for a much more coordinated push there, as they will be able to, push their lead to just about a consistent 4K here now.
Interesting choice of mythics for the Urgot, by the way. It looks like he got an Ever Shroud? Or what's that item called? I thought it was a
Even
support
Shroud.
item.
It is not a support item. It's more of a tank item. It's one of the newer items which you really don't see anyone build. Most likely because there isn't really a true tank on the side of the Burn Circle cleanup, so wanting to maybe go for that tank item, maybe didn't want to go for the Sunfire or the Frozen Gauntlet as you normally see Urgots go. So maybe elected for that for the tankiness. Didn't really want to go for the maybe the old
Sandy Snake on the flank.
Yeah, they will only charm the set, which isn't really the best one you want, but they will be able to take him down. Swordmaster is able to go through the R, can't get away in time as Abarn will shut him down. Not enough damage coming through. Abarn actually does get trapped, so might take him down. They do take him down. Who gets to execute? It is the Veigar. Not bad at all. That is a great one. And actually, that gets him a little bit more pressure here onto the map. Stops the Rift Herald from being able to take down that mid tier 2. So all in all, that's maybe a little bit too much of a force here for the side of the Mariachi Mullets.
Yep, they do get the turret, though, in the end, so it's not as if they don't get any compensation here. They're still maintaining that 3K gold lead. I will say, though, that if they're not able to extend that and these team fights stay close, 3K gold lead probably isn't enough to beat out on the scaling that the BCC are going to get in the end. Viger's got the first of his needlessly large rods. He's recalling now. I assume that he's probably going to be able to pick up a second. Oh no, he's interesting. So he's going for the I'm terrible with the item names. The one new one that gives spell penetration. Help me out here.
I don't know what that one's called. As much as you are right, with the the 3K gold lead might not be enough for the late game scaling. What will be enough is the objectives. We have 4 towers to 0. You have 1 dragon and could be 2 coming through. So even if the gold is not that different, you have the gold coming through in the towers. You have the pressure that allows, as well as if they get the dragon stacking, that's going to be more than enough to take down these these players. Since all you need is one good CC chain there on the Sandy Snake, and he just gets popped. Bromanzilla will be pushed away, getting trapped in the cage, but. Now we actually got a mid lane battle coming through. TP as a flash from Rookstout. Autopsy will be able to flash E forward. Can't get too much. No R for the slow, actually. So that will just be them backing off with a TP and flash burn. So that's definitely good for the Mariachi Mullets, as now they're going to get the prio back. Maybe trying to set up some vision before the dragon here spawns. They will just be chilling out, waiting for any kind of aggression here. Cage does land onto one. Swordmaster will just get the W over the wall. Ultimate comes out from Bromanzilla. Ultimate misses from Droid. Not sure why they burned either of those across the wall. Nothing could have happened.
Very, very strange ult choices there, especially with Dragon coming up soon.
Yeah, and there was no fight that was ever going to happen when you're fighting across the wall. So definitely not the smartest thing. Could have just been happy with the Ornn, wasting his ultimate, and then Droid could have had hit for this fight. But looks like they're going to try to get something done. Cage does not land. Bromanzilla does get a double knockup. W does come through and land onto Bromanzilla. Low HP. Will be actually ulted there by the Urgot. Abarn will take down Swordmaster, though, in response. Irip will fall. Sandy Snake does take him down. It's now double kill for the Urgot. Abarn and who this are left. That's a lot of damage coming through, though. Droid will pop the...
Oh no, Droid's out on his own!
Fall. Unfortunately, Avar could not shut him down. So low HP there onto Droid, who this can really only just maybe throw some bombs, try to get something done. But great, team fight there. A little bit, I think, maybe discoordinated just based off of the initial decision.
You gotta be a little careful here of a steal. Oh nope.
Yeah, wasn't too much of a problem there. Who this didn't really have any big damage done. Waited till he threw the second Q, but that gold lead. I mean, honestly, even though that was 3 or 4 kills for the side of the burnt circuit cleanup, still 3K gold lead. Setting stake again is doing his job. Is doing very, very well. Unfortunately, Swordmaster 0-4. Struggling a little bit in the jungle, but bot side doing very, very well. 1-0-8 there on Toasty, 0-0 and 8 there onto Droid. So the carries are in the right spots. This could definitely be a game where the scaling comes into play. But we'll really have to see what happens with the objectives.
And the key thing, and I think Tranimal was pointing this out in chat, there isn't a ton of tank shred for burnt circuit cleanup. It's interesting though, because it's going to come down to, is there sufficient damage to wipe out BCC from the Mariachi Mullets before the Viger can just chew through things? Because yeah, it's true, he's not the best tank killer, but he's also when you have infinite scaling, you can afford to take a little while.
Yeah, and 100%, right? If this game goes down to the 35-40 minute mark, gold doesn't matter. It's all the scaling, right? Veigar just infinitely scales with his Q. He's got 223 evil stacks, so that's definitely a lot of good ability power. I mean, he's 6-0-3, right? 2 items. We actually do have, though, the Baron starting up. I believe that they will be aware now with the Pop Blossom being popped, but unfortunately,
this
there isn't too many people close by. Actually, they're just going to be backed off. TP will come through. Maybe they're going to turn around on the Urgot, but Urgot is far enough away. Ultimately, there comes Adam, the Ornn, as we do have a little bit of lag here on our side, but it seems like we're fine. Autopsy will be taken down there by Rook Stout. Rest of the teams are just going to be backing off, as that was definitely a good turnaround. They definitely could still turn back onto the Baron. But
I would not turn on to the Baron if I were them. Not without all those ultimates. They burned Seji, Ziggs, and Ornn's ultimates. And they would have to be fighting it into a Seraphine and all. That's not a pleasant prospect.
Well, at the very least, you do have the flash there, burned by Bromanzilla, to dodge the cage. Rook Stout is half HP, so maybe they will not decide to go for the Baron. But I believe they do take down the tier 2 top lane. So, their objective game is still so strong. Still 0 turrets taken.
Oh my gosh! Who is this?
Yeah, he's getting a
healthy chunk.
Yeah, he's playing confident. He's playing aggressive. He's definitely not afraid. He does not unfortunately have any stopwatch. Does have the Dark Seal, so he's stacking that up. So he has to be careful. But looks like what worked, what didn't work before might work again. Is they're trying to bait out the Baron maybe, but decides to just maybe recall back, spend all the gold that they just got, and we will have a bit of a slower map, but still consistently a 3K gold lead here.
Yep. As this progresses out, though, it's kind of interesting. The way that the Mariachi Mullets tend to play fights is they still are very much of the style of throw all your ults onto the one person and try to use the ensuing 4v5 to get that advantage. The downside of this is that if they are only able to really get damage on one person, it makes any follow-up fight potentially a lot riskier. I'm also looking out here. It would be really, really nice if Swordmaster has the time, ends up getting enough farm and gold to go and get some more items. He's currently sitting on just the Gore Drinker and his boots, which obviously not the tankiest combination. Looks like we're having a bit of a scuff here around the dragon.
And yeah, just gonna be, I think, just another good setup. Definitely, the Mariachi Mullets are super, super clean with their setups. They understand vision control, understanding needing to get the pressure, and get the setup way beforehand. So clearing out all the vision, placing it down so they are aware of what's happening. Jin's actually topside right now with 4 seconds left. So not sure.
I don't think that they should BCC should even try to fight for this particular dragon. I think that would be a very big mistake.
I mean, they have the damage. They have, I think, the items, right? You've got your bot lane. All you need is one good CC setup. You know, one little cage to land, and that dragon is yours, right? You want to get the soul here, as now Romanzilla will be able to, I think, take down Droid shortly. Who is this? Will be able to finish him off with the ultimate, or an ultimate cannot come through because of the I think the late ultimate there from Droid potentially. But the current call comes through, doesn't really get too much done, as the show does go on with the Mariachi Mullets going right into the dragon, and there probably won't be too much contention with Droid still in the fountain.
It's hard to say. They're positioning around here. I guess they're just making a play onto mid lane and trying to use their priority there to pressure for the mid turret. But nope, they're backing off.
Yeah, and honestly, they should definitely have seen right away and tried to go mid, right? They still have 0 turrets in this game, right? This is a 27-minute game, and no turrets have been taken. They've only gotten 2 dragons to their name, so, you know, they definitely need to get some kind of map control, because they can't get anything done when all of these tier 1s are still up. You know, they lose so much potential for vision. They lose, you know, too many things here, as wards being placed down there on the Baron Pit, just making sure that they can't go for any, you know, burst, but they don't really have the damage for that anyway, so we do have the setup, or not the setup, we do have just, you know, the CS continuing, the farming continuing. 5k gold lead there still for the Mariachi Mullets, as we just have more and more items coming through, and finally we have our Ornn upgrades through, as Abron will be the first recipient.
It's honestly pretty fascinating. I'm looking at this, and as you pointed out, it's 5 turrets to 0 on this, two dragons to 2. But I'm looking, and there's about they've got the 4,000 gold difference between the two teams, and I'm wondering just how much of that is just straight the difference in turret and plate gold. I have to imagine it's a pretty healthy chunk of the difference, because looking up and down, the difference in kills is not that substantial. The difference in farm is not that substantial. Everyone's pretty even. It's just this these turrets. That said,
and that's where all the gold is, right? The standing gold there on the map is everywhere. As even though there is a pink ward in the pit,
they were completely caught off guard.
Yeah, they can't even get. You know, the Jhin tries to go for the 4 shots there. Bromenzilla gets over the wall with the blast cone, and doesn't even matter. You know, they've got too much damage, right? Abron has great items. Who is this? That's enough. Now Sangsang does get ulted twice there from the Ornn and the Sejuani. He gets shut down, and at this point,
it may be premature, but I think that very well could be game. We're looking at a 40-second death timer. At the very least, they're getting an inhibitor for this.
Yeah, and even if it isn't game immediately, that's probably the game regardless. You know, this gold lead 7k, only going to get higher when they take more objectives on the map, right? Sangsang was really their only hope. He was all this damage. He could go for the burst, but getting picked off like that is just really unfortunate. We do have the mid inhibitor tower falling, as now
right.
the inhibitor
they won't be able to end right here off on the 4v5 specifically, but yeah, that's a rough spot to be in. We're looking at as you said, 7k gold difference, and I'm really curious what was going on there. They had the vision on Baron. They knew that it was something that the Mariachi Mullets were interested in pursuing, but then they all went bot. It just seems like maybe a miscommunication of some sort.
And I think it is probably a lack of discipline too, right? Like, you know, if the team goes for the Baron, you can't be that pushed far mid, right? The same way that I think it happened for the Dragon or for Rift Herald, right? We saw the same thing happen earlier in the game. You know, the members of the circuit cleanup, the burn circuit cleanup, keep getting picked off. You know, like, you know, top lane and jungle get picked off a lot. You know, they've got 8 kills between them. That is the majority of their deaths. You know, only 1 death there on the support and on the mid laner. So it's just sometimes, you know, like, you know, the team coordination isn't there. The individual coordination isn't always there. It's Abron actually is super out of position. Cage is there in time. Swordmaster will be able to take him down. So that's definitely something, right? I believe you have the dragon spawning relatively soon, but Abron will be back up, no problem. So kill won't matter too much because there's no follow-up. You know, they can't really get anything done after this. So if anything, just gets more gold into their pockets. So that's definitely something they want to see. You know, this is an 8k lead now in favor of the Mariachi Mullets. And with these buffed up Baron minions, it's super hard to see us for this Veigar, right? We've only got, you know, so much damage coming through. They're going to be, hopefully, they should be split pushing eventually once Abron spawns, but, you know, just trying to force them back as much as they can, trying to stem the bleeding as much as possible. But fortunately, at least for the burnt circuit cleanup, this is not sole point. This is just the third dragon as the engage is coming through. Swordmaster tries to engage first, but might just be falling very, very shortly as now the ultimate comes through from Droid, gets a nice double charm. Swordmaster goes
Good charm by Droid.
And he's saying, we'll take down Ira, but the ultimate from the Urgot does not unfortunately come through. Toasty takes down Rookstow. Lorenzo does get caught by the cage. Will get stunned up again. Now the ultimate comes through from the Urgot. That is a 3-for-1. Very, very good team fight. And that is definitely what they needed. 10 seconds left for the dragon. They need to go for this.
Yeah, they need to get mana for this. Sandy Snake is sitting here operating on very, very low mana.
But he does have enough for one cage, and that's all he needs. One cage. We'll have the flash, though, from Who Is This? That's totally fine, right? You guys just have to play slow. Let your teammate come. They're just trying to, I think, chase him away. Droid could be killed, but unfortunately, took too much time. They gave away the dragon for free. I do not think they should have done that. You had 4 members. Just go for the dragon.
Nah, they were all really low. They did need to reset. It was just I feel like the play was probably to reset and have Autopsy teleport in, but I'm not exactly sure what the thought process there was. I guess they were assuming Abarn wouldn't try to solo it, but yeah, that's very much an Abarn thing to do.
Yeah, and there definitely was really no reason for a fight to be there. You know, when you had Abarn respawning, you had the dragon 4 seconds. The Mariachi Mullahs had no reason to fight there. No reason to be pushing that, the pressure. Just back off, let Abarn respawn, you get a dragon for free and lose nothing. But gave away some shutdowns,
yep.
Gave away some gold into the pockets. We have the Jin, 3 items, has a bounty in his pocket. Vhagar, has 3 items as well, is doing pretty well. And the tankiness of the Urgot's coming through. Swordmaster is coming back a little bit, but this game is definitely not far from over. They have the gold lead is still 5k, but it's less than it was beforehand. There's still objective bounties to be taken, but we just need to have these solid team fight starts.
Yeah, I would say that there's a lot of potential for this to. Oh my gosh, Abarn again!
Yeah, and I think he might have gotten W'd into a cave there.
Very good flank maneuver. I will say, Sandy's doing a good job of finding these sort of sneaky flanks where he like loops around. And,
actually, just a very, very well-placed Jin trap slows him. Was more than able for Sandy Snake to walk up there and place the cage. So I don't think there was any reason for Abarn to be that far up. Not sure if he had W. Not sure if he maybe just waited to use it. But yeah, Abarn should not have died there playing an AD carry. But flash forward from Bromanzilla. Will be Eid, as now Swordmaster is here. Ultimate should be coming down shortly. Does land, he will be eaten up. Great kill there. Getting some more things back. And, we do have the Baron spawning here in 40 seconds. That is exactly when Bromanzilla will be respawning. So we could see potentially, a Baron rush. I think they do have the damage now. But they definitely have to get a little bit more pressure and more vision back in their jungle.
Yep, and as we're looking at this, it looks like they're about to go and sneak the bot turret. The Autopsy still has his teleport, so he can afford to be. Oh, and he got an objective bounty on it too. Good stuff. Yeah, so now the gold lead has thinned a bit to 3,000 gold. I want to kind of take a point because I want to make sure that I'm not being too negative here. I think that both teams are doing what they need to do here, by and large. I think that the Mariachi Marauders have gotten caught out a little bit with some of Sandy Snake's flanks. I think, though, that what they have been doing right is a lot of these really, really assertive play calls. Like, for right now, they know that they were caught on vision, and immediately Bromanzilla goes up here and just starts running defense, or running interference. And as we're watching here, they almost were able to get the Baron down. Unfortunately, they did have to back off, and that means that the Baron is going to heal back up. But the speed at which they were able to collapse on this, the burnt circuit connectors burnt circuit cleanup. I will get this name right, Blood. I'm sorry.
And actually, Engage coming through. Sandy does get caught. Is still alive though. Sandy will be taking down Abraham before he falls there shortly. Toasty is in the back. Ultimate comes through from Autopsy. Gets the fear onto one. Oh, coming through in the back. Jin takes him down. The slows are coming through. They could try to follow us up, but that's a great satchel charge placement there by Who Is This. That is a good turn on.
Swordmaster coming in with the sneaky flanks himself.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to force it there. They saw the Vhagar on the open, but the damage is there finally. I think, Jord got a great charm. and you had just a great, engage and damage coming through. So this is now a 2K gold lead. You've got 8 kills now above for the burnt circuit cleanup, and this could be, them getting back into the game here. A minute left on the Dragon. They could finally get themselves on the soul point, stop the soul going over from the Mariachi Mullets. And I mean, getting something like Ocean Soul would be game changing. I think whoever does get Ocean Soul will win this game for sure. So trying to get this early setup is exactly what they need to do.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I don't know that I guess the Mariachi Marauders will have the time to get over here, but this time all of the prep and all of the vision placement and everything will be for the burnt circuit cleanup. They will be the ones with the advantage here. Oh no! Oh, good Spidey sense IRAP, just dancing out of the vision placement. Autopsy got to make sure he doesn't get cut off there. The Mariachi Mullets, they're gonna look to try to sneak in there. They've got all the ultimates they need up, and they do have a lot of stuff that they can spray into here.
Yeah, but this is one of the first times where the burnt circuit cleanup has actually the first setup. They have all the things they need. All they need is one good cage placement into an Urgot E, and then they can take this fight. Ultimate comes through, cage doesn't land. Toasty just cancels it right away. Now we have the Ornn ultimate coming through, only gets one. This fight is still nowhere to be found. We only have the E coming through. Great charm there, but shut down immediately there onto the Jin. Sensei is trying to do what he can. Ultimate comes through, and actually that is a weird thing that just happened there. But unfortunately, they all just take all the damage. Their abilities came through and did nothing. Abraham with a double kill. Sensei can do nothing but run.
And that'll be game.
The interaction, yeah. It's just so unfortunate. I think the Urgot got the R and then died through it. If he got that fear off, that could have been a team fight win, but unfortunately, they had the goal.
I'm a little curious what happened to Toasty there, though. Like,
I think
what did
immediately bursted?
Just yeah, but was he? Did he get like flash? No, because IRAP doesn't have flash. I'm wondering what he got caught out with.
I think A-Barn took him down the very, very end. We might be able to maybe do a quick replay here as the only one kill can come through. Sensei gets the fadeaway there onto Bromanzilla, but that is a 2-0. There will be no reverse sweep coming through. That is a solid series win from the Mariachi Mullets.
GG, and my words are eaten. Fantastic work to the Mariachi Mullets. I was expecting this to be a lot closer, and in all honesty, the second game was pretty freaking close. Like as we're looking at this at the end, burnt circuit cleanup actually ended up ahead in kills. It was just the crisp. Burnt circuit cleanup could do against it. They looked frankly like they were lost for a lot of the time, especially the first game, but even in the second game, they were just always like one step behind, and that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. I think they definitely pulled it back together. Just based on the individuals playing together. But at the very end, you saw how the coordination kind of broke apart. You had the Toasty ultimate come through for nothing. You had, the Veigar cage place and missed, and then you did have a good, charm there from Droid, but somehow Toasty just died first. Like, your AD carry dying right off the bat is, that was a lost fight from the start. You had the top laner, do what he can. He almost got the fear off, and that could have changed the fight, but I think it was just, a more better showing and kind of the more cohesion shown from the Mariachi Mullets, but they definitely didn't look perfect. A-Barn definitely kind of just walked into Veigar's face a few times and died for free. Had some moments where they were over aggressive for no reason. They're trying to force when they didn't need to because they thought they were infinitely far ahead. So definitely not perfect, but definitely they looked super coordinated, especially in that first game. So above all, I think it was definitely a solid performance from the Mariachi Mullets, and definitely I think it's back to the drawing board and back to kind of polishing up the fundamentals for the burnt circuit cleanup.
No, absolutely. And before we go any further, I think that it's important that we bring in the MVP from the Mariachi Mullets to maybe talk through and do a bit of an interview. For it looks like we're going to get a quick look at the damage graph. Oh my gosh! Huh?
That is.
Production is saying it's 40K from 6.
Yeah, and
okay.
I guess that's why he was banned in the first game, right? He's a very good Ziggs player. You know, I definitely wasn't super sold on the set IREP. I think I'm still not, but you know, Ziggs did his job. He was throwing the bombs, he was hitting the bombs, he was letting his ultimates, and I mean, he did. I think almost double damage than anyone in this game. I think
We're seeing now in the prior game, he also led the damage share. So I'll be honest, MVP, it has to be Mr. Pentakill.
It has to be, right? He broke the kill record for the TCL, right? 18 kills. So
yeah,
I mean, broke the kill record with a pentakill, right? I mean,
most damage both games.
I haven't watched, you know, the two previous TCL games, but this, you know, could be a statement for, you know, I am the best AD carry in TCL Season 4.
We're having a lot of those.
Actually,
a lot of those statement plays. I'll be honest. There are a lot of people fighting for the contention. But let's get who is this Mr. Pentakill himself into the lobby. First pentakill in TCL Season 4. Welcome. What do you have to say? That was a massive statement performance.
Just different feel than my normal games with jungle and support carrying me. But when you get fed early as an AD carry with jungle pressure, it gets easy late game.
Yeah, and it definitely looked easy. That first game, you guys had some super clean team coordination, but then you got a little bit, you know, over aggressive there in game number 2. But you know, when you had the turnarounds there from the burn circle cleanup, was there any worry, you know, in your team for you know this game could, you know, get out of our hands, or you know, was your team always confident from the get go, you know, that was a one game?
We were pretty confident from the get go. We figured A Barn would get caught a few times, make it interesting, but
as is tradition. But how does it? You had mentioned that it's very different feel for from the games you're used to, both from the support and the jungle. How do you feel your coordination has been with I'll say Joa / Rook Stout to start with. He's very well known in this league for being a very gank focused jungler, very easy to work with, very proactive about getting his lanes ahead. What would you say has been like the dynamic between you and he in these games thus far?
It's been really good. I like early aggression and being able to be very aggressive, and almost all of the early kills are set up by both the jungle and support in CC. And then, like I said, I just auto attack and get the kills. So
yeah, and obviously this is only week 1 of TCL. We've got a whole season still to go. But based off of your team's, you know, performance here in week number 1, based off of your personal performance, where do you see this team, you know, how do you see them performing for the rest of the season, as well as where do you see you finishing here, as you know, finishing in the regular season in preparation for the playoffs?
I think we have a really good chance. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to say it's early. It's early.
Fair enough. Do you want to give any shout outs to any of your other teammates? I'll be honest, we couldn't deny you the MVP with the huge damage numbers, but obviously everyone on your team played really, really well this particular series. Do you want to give a shout out to any of the others?
Well, definitely our top lane also. I don't know. There were a lot of very good Ornn plays throughout the game that may have been missed starting out the team fights. But I think our Ornn played extremely well.
All right, Broman Zilligan, a little bit of a shout out. So with that, thank you very much. It was a great performance. Who is this? So we'll definitely be excited to see if you can, you know, keep that kind of consistency leading into the rest of the season. But I
looking
believe
out for pentakill number 2.
Yeah, very well could be. So that does close out week number 1 of the TCL. Congratulations to our winning teams and to the Mariachi Mullets for their win today. Spirit, any final words from you?
Yes, a quick reminder for everybody that we're actually going to be kicking off the next week of competition very quickly. We're going to be having our next match actually tomorrow between, once again, the burnt circuit cleanup, and let me double check. Stall for me. Burnt circuit cleanup, and the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So hope to see as many people as possible back here tomorrow night, and congratulations to both teams. Thank you both for all of our productions, our long-suffering Voitech on production, and for all the viewers who came out to make this possible. Rock on, everybody. Have a great evening.
See you guys.